This is episode 654, and today we're going to be talking about the role of mindset in achieving peak performance. Let's begin with a somewhat definition of peak performance, and that is peak performance is a state where individuals or teams operate at their absolute best, consistently delivering exceptional results. But these consistently delivering is in between peak performances, you have high performances, and that's where you regularly operate. And then consistency could be once a week, once a month, once a quarter, you deliver exceptional results. And in between those peaks, you have high performance, and hopefully you won't drop to mediocre performance. But as a mental strength coach, I completely understand that mindset is a critical factor in achieving peak performance. As a matter of fact, once you elevate yourself to a certain level, it's not only critical, it is probably 99% of your accomplishment. So now let's take a look and explore the impact of mindset on performance and talk about some ways to potentially harness this power. So, mindset defined. Carolyn Dweck wrote a book called Mindset, and she identified two different mindsets. A fixed mindset, and that a fixed mindset is individuals with a fixed mindset believe that their abilities, intelligence are innate. That's it. They're born with it. It's unchangeable, and they most likely will avoid challenges and give up easily in the face of setbacks. And if they don't get the result they want, they will blame others. Whereas growth mindset are those with a growth mindset believe that abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. They embrace challenges and persist in the face of adversity. And if they don't get the result they want, they take a learning from that and correct and continue. So let's take a look at mindset and performance then. So mindset influences performance in several ways. The first is confidence. If we're a fixed mindset and thinks our skills are fixed, we're not going to have the confidence to go out and try new things, to try new techniques, to try something new. We just aren't going to have that confidence. And by not trying something new, we are going to stay within our comfort zone. And actually, that comfort zone is going to start to shrink and shrink and shrink the less we push ourselves. And we push ourselves based on our confidence. And here's the difference. Confidence isn't meaning you're going to get it right. Confidence is that no matter what happens, you'll be okay. So imagine facing a challenging situation going, hey, I might not get it right, but I'm going to be okay. So you go after it, and then you learn, and then you move forward, and then you develop confidence that, hey, I can try a lot of things. I might not get the result I want the first time, but I'm going to be okay. When we shift from I have to get it right the first time to no matter what happens, I'll be okay, our confidence will go up and we'll be able to push ourselves outside of our comfort zone. Resilience. This goes hand in glove, right? If we know that we're going to be okay, then we can dig deep into the resilience and keep going after what we want. It may take 1, 10, 14, 20 tries, but the resilience will keep us going because we have the confidence that no matter what happens, I'll be okay. And as we develop the resilience in one area of our life, we'll develop the resilience in another area of life, because how you do anything is a reflection of how you do everything. So that confidence, if we just change the definition of confidence a wee bit, will then dig deep into our resilience to keep going after what we want. And when we know that we will eventually succeed, that we can have then tap into our motivation and inspiration to get going and keep going, all based on, hey, no matter what happens, I'll be okay. 5 tries, let me go. 6 tries, I get it. Great. I'm motivated now to move on to the next challenge. Now, these are just 3 major components on how mindset influences performance. There's a ton of other ways with it. And we're talking this type of mindset, you could say, is mental strength. So the 4 C's in mental strength is control, challenge, confidence, and commitment. And so that's basically what we're talking about here. So some strategies for developing a peak performance mindset. Again, as a mental performance coach, I guide individuals and teams, whether it's sports teams, sales teams, other operational teams, in cultivating a peak performance mindset through awareness. So the awareness comes in where we are aware of our self-talk, aware of our limiting beliefs, aware when we hold ourselves back from doing things. Awareness plays such a huge role into any personal development program. We have to be aware of when we're doing the things we don't want to because it's often unconscious. And just being aware of those times will often help us move beyond those times. So we want to also challenge ourselves to move from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. And that can be just doing something different that we normally wouldn't do. And then realizing, hey, I'm okay. Let me do it again. Let me do it again. So moving from a fixed to a growth mindset is dependent on the individual or the team. Most likely the individual is, do they want to improve their performance? If they go, no, they're fine, it's going to be a fixed mindset and it's not going to be able to shift. But what we are presuming here, if you're listening to this podcast, is that you can do more and you want to do more and you want to hit that peak performance. And perhaps it's partial fixed mindset that is holding you back. So we would move from a fixed to a growth mindset. Part of the ways of doing this is through visualization and or mental rehearsal. Mental rehearsal is seeing what you would see, hearing what you would hear, feeling what you would feel, and actually going through the motions of achieving peak performance in your mind. And what this does is it conditions the unconscious mind to behave in a manner that you want to achieve the goal that you want. And this visualization is not a one-time event. If you sit and worry about something, you're mentally rehearsing something you don't want over and over and over and over and over again. When we talk about visualization and mental rehearsal for peak performance, we want to get excited about the things that you want to have happen. So we used visualization, mental rehearsal to basically role play what we want to have happen. In with all of these, we want to use positive self-talk. That is, say it the way you want it, as opposed to I don't want to strike out, I'm going to get a hit. So those are the positive self. I hope I don't fail on this lift. Is I'm going to lift this weight, right? I hope the customer doesn't say no, and I'm looking forward to the customer saying yes. This is positive self-talk. We want to say it the way we want it, and we want to acknowledge that even if when an event happens and we get the result, we still want to have the positive self-talk. That is, hey, I didn't get the sale and I learned 1, 2, 3. After an event, whether it's a sporting event, a physical event, maybe you climbed a mountain, went on for a long hike, a run, or a sales thing, it's after the event where we really need the awareness of our self-talk, because we can beat ourselves up pretty bad afterwards. It's okay to critique where there's rooms for improvement, but when we have negative self-talk about ourselves, we are then draining our energy and our confidence to keep going after more and more goals. So one of the things with positive self-talk is before, during, and after. It's just not before. What do you say during the event? Like if you're climbing a steep hill, maybe 4 miles at a significant elevation, what's the self-talk? Is it like just one more step, or is it like, I can't do this anymore? So we want to look at self-talk before, during, and after an event. And then goal setting. Goal setting is huge. We want to set goals outside of our comfort zone so that we can build the confidence, build the resilience to go after that. So goal setting is important. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. But mindfulness and resilience training. Mindfulness goes hand in glove with awareness. Resilience training is pick something that may be easy, but do it for a prolonged period of time where fatigue starts to set in. So if you're doing squats, you may want to do, okay, I'm going to do 20 squats in a row where you normally do 5. Well, you adjust the weight accordingly, but then you start going to it. Once you hit 10, 11, 12, it's going to be, oh my gosh, I got to do 8 more. That can be part of the resilience training. And the mindfulness comes in as to how your body feels and what your mind is saying. So we can do things at a high repetition until we get fatigued from it and then push beyond it. And that can help us with our resilience training. So the role of a mental performance coach, like myself or other people, involves playing a pivotal role in helping individuals and teams harness the power of mindset, right? You may be aware of it, but there's probably a lot of scotomas and blind spots where you're not aware of it. And that's where a mental performance coach, whether it's me or somebody else, can help identify those areas. And through, personalized guidance and targeted interventions, coaches such as myself or others can facilitate the development of a growth mindset. And this equips you with the mental tools needed to consistently achieve peak performance. Obviously, we're going to shoot from medium performance to high performance, level that out, and then put some more tools in place so you can reach your peak performance. But this is what the role of a coach is. This is what I do. This is what other people do. You can do it on your own, but if you look at any great athlete, any great salespeople, person, any great business person, they have a mental performance coach. They may not call it that, but in their corner, they help them achieve that, to help them identify the scotomas and the roadblocks that are getting in their way. So just keep in mind, mindset is a cornerstone of peak performance. And I actually would say a growth mindset is a cornerstone. Mental strength is a cornerstone. And as a mental performance coach, my expertise in cultivating a growth mindset and enhancing mental resilience is instrumental in helping you unlock your full potential and achieve exceptional results. That's what I do. There are other mental performance coaches that do very similar things. If you like this podcast, want to see the show notes, please visit warriormindcoach.com. While you're there, you can find other podcasts, blog posts, other useful information, and a way to contact me for an introductory complimentary breakthrough session. Since you'll be on the internet, please follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest under Warrior Mind Coach.